Hi guys, it's Angela. We're gonna water some moss pools today because remember I said a couple days ago we'd probably do it on Saturday or Sunday. Well, today's Monday. I still haven't watered them. They've been okay, so I wasn't in a super big hurry to get that project done, but today's the day. They need to be watered, and I might as well take you along on the journey and show you how I water my moss pools. I did a video the other day on how I mix up my water and my nutrients. I just made a new 5-gallon bucket of water this morning. And so that is ready to go. And we're just gonna go ahead and get to watering because this really doesn't take me very long. All right, I have a little bit of noise. And I'm gonna try to remember to come over here and talk to you because the mic is on my iPad and that's where it picks up. And if I talk to you over there, you might not be able to hear me very well because I don't have a cordless mic yet. So it's on the to-do list. I'm going to move a couple things that are on the floor that kind of make it hard for me to get to the plants, and then we'll get started. So really just those three are the only things that I really have to move. And sorry, you're going to be looking at my backside. Those three are really the only things I need to move. I leave my water bottles on my plants until I'm ready to water. And I just dunk. I mean, this is not rocket science, guys. I'm sure you're not learning anything spectacular here. But people wanted to see, right? So we're gonna do it. So I take 2 or 3 of these at a time because that's about all I can carry at once. It'll take about, I have to remember which ones I'm doing though, because I do fill them up at different heights for different plants. So the El Choco Red, that one gets about 3/4 of a bottle, so I'm not going to fill that one all the way. And they get green and gross because the fertilizer, I don't care. I wash them out every now and then. The water bottles that I use are the Arrowhead with the sport cap flip tops on them, and I just cut that attached cap part off, and so they've already got a hole, so I don't even have to drill holes. If I use soda bottles, which sometimes I do, because some of my you'll see some of them are in smaller soda bottles, because they're different size moss poles. All right, I'm just going to dump this in there. I have to pay attention as to which ones. This one goes on the El Choco Red. And yes, I do splatter water sometimes. We'll grab that one. So I need a full one for the Rhaphidophora and then a smaller one. I know I was saying something, but now I don't remember what I was saying. Different size bottles for different moss poles. Some of the moss poles are bigger, and so these full-size water bottles fit on there, and then some of them are smaller, and so littler bottles fit better. This is for my Epipremnum Marble King. I only need about a half to a third for that one. So the amount of water that I use depends on the size of the pole, how mature the plant is, how well the plant is rooted into there, and that determines how much water I give the plants. And you just kind of learn that over time. You figure out how much water each plant requires. Because I usually do water them all at the same time. And so I've just kind of figured out, ooh, this one dried out too fast or not enough, and I adjust accordingly. So this one's only got half. And then this one is for the Rhaphidophora. That one's a full bottle. And then I usually try to work my way across the top, and then I come back and hit the lower ones, but I kind of got out of order while I was chit-chatting with you. So the Splendid, she'll probably actually get 2 bottles. I usually come back and give her a second just because she's a big plant. And then the Neon Pothos just gets 1, and the Marble Queen Pothos gets a full one. So all three of these will be full bottles. You can't squeeze the bottles. Yes, that happens all the time. Alright, then I missed this one in the plant tour the other day. I have a Melanochrysum. I missed it because we have a love-hate relationship and I honestly just didn't even see it. Like, I don't even acknowledge it. It has a tiny bottle. There's a Silver Sword back here. I don't think I showed you that one either. That one gets a half a bottle. And then I've got a newly planted Bromark's Flame. I missed that one. I don't know how I missed that one. That one would be better to have a smaller bottle, but there's a big bottle on it, probably because that's all I happen to have at the time when I planted it. So that one won't get a full bottle either. So what am I doing here? I'm doing Silver Sword gets a half of a big bottle. Half a big bottle for Bromark's Flame, just because it's a new baby plant. It's not very established, doesn't use a lot of water. It's not even really attached in yet. I just want to keep that moss damp. What was this other? Oh, Melanochrysum. This one it's a tiny pull, so it only gets half of a small bottle because it's a very small diameter pull. All right, let's do those. That one. All right, so then we've got a Manjula here. I didn't show you that either. I think I skipped all of these in the houseplant tour the other day. And then my Monstera Elbow. I do have her on a pole. She's kind of new to the pole. And that one, I'm going to show you what I did here. So I used just a regular nursery pot, but she's in pond. And I used the ceramic pot as kind of a cache pot for a water reservoir for the pond. So I want to see if there's water in there. No, it's dry. That's okay. So I'm going to give it a full bottle because whatever runs through will fill up that water reservoir in the bottom. I don't want a lot in there, but I do want some water in there. So I'm going to do half a bottle for the Manjula and a full bottle for the Elbow. And this goes a little faster when I'm not talking you through it all. All right, full bottle for the Elbow, half for the Manjula. There are little catch trays so that if there's extra and it runs through, there's catch trays. And I kind of know how much it needs, so I don't really have to empty those very often. And then a couple of them, like this one, this is a little baby Soderoy. And so it's not a very big plant. So we'll only do half of a small bottle. It's in a ceramic pot, but one that's open in the bottom. And so then there's a black tray on the floor that catches the excess. All right. Do we get everybody? Done. So Ceiba Blue, I usually give 2 because she's a pretty decent sized plant and she drinks. That moss is not as compact as the moss is on Splendid, and so it drinks it up faster. So we'll give her a second bottle. And then Splendid, it's a slower, that bottle drips slower. The moss is more dense, I think, in there, and so it doesn't just run right through. It takes longer to filter through, And so I'll give that one a second pull later this afternoon when it's done, because it'll probably take a while for that to drink up. So I do have some pulls over here on this wall. If you watched the plant tour, you saw that I have some Scindapsus on poles. I'm going to check those real quick. Those aren't ready. So those are not necessarily on the same watering schedule as these. And so those have been watered since these were watered, and they're not ready. So that's it, we're done. How long did that take while I was talking to you? Not very long. So anyway, I love my moss poles. There are plants I feel like are more suited for moss poles than others, obviously, and my moss pole space is limited. So today, these are the ones that have gotten, that are allowed to have the prime real estate on the moss pole wall. So that's it. I know a lot of people are taking down their poles. They think they're too much work. I don't think they're that difficult. So anyway, let me know in the comments, how do you manage your moss poles, and what do you find to be great and wonderful about moss poles, and what do you not like about moss poles? Because I'm really curious, because I really like my moss poles. And even when I do chop and extends, the Micans is ready for a chop and extend. The Neon Pothos is going to be ready very soon. Ooh, look at those roots in there. The philodendron, the variegated philodendron, is one that I have considered getting rid of and taking that one off of a pole. Not that I don't like that plant on a pole. That plant is just super low variegation. It needs more light. It's not in a prime spot. It's always been low var since I got it. It was a free cutting somebody gave me, and so it just has never had great variegation. And so I don't love that plant. And I actually have a really high variegation Hartley philodendron that I bought since then. That's just a baby plant, and it's about this tall. And I would much rather prefer putting that one on a moss pole, because it's a much better specimen, and growing that one up the pole and do away with this one. So I will probably do that. I just don't have a lot of room to squeeze anything else in here at the moment. And a couple of these things on this lower level are going to get bigger. So I have to make some decisions, because I don't have a lot. And then I have that stupid varicosum in the corner. I know, you can hear me. I shouldn't call her that. And I really want to love that plant. I really do. It's just had spider mites. I've forgotten it. I put it over there to kind of isolate it. So then I forget about it. So then it doesn't get watered. So then it gets super dry. So then it's stressed out. It's crunchy. It gets spider mites. It's just like this ever evolving cycle. And I'm sure a lot of that is my fault. So I've been a lot more diligent treating her and watering her and trying to love her, because I would like to have it be a big, beautiful plant. But she is so prone to spider mites, I don't know if she'll ever earn a spot in the wall, because the rest of these are good. They're good. And so, I don't know. I don't think she's getting the prime real estate. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I don't know what else. I got some repots to do today. I might put, okay, I just said I don't have room for any more moss poles, but I love this Syngonium albo. And I've always wanted to put her on a moss pole, and she's at the perfect height. This is propagations from a previous plant. And so she's at like the perfect height to really put her on a pole right now. Then where do I put her? Where do I put her? Somebody's got to go, you know? So I don't know that I'm ready to part with anybody over there yet. All right. Have a nice day. Bye.